This is Grandmaster Boris Alterman and you're watching Gambit Guide. Welcome back to the new series of the Gambit Guide. And this is the Polugaevsky Gambit in the Queen's Indian defense. d4, knight f6, c4. So this moves order became just quite popular only, I would say, 100 years ago, when the greatest Danish chess player Aron Nimzowitsch invented here e6 idea, when black, instead of playing d5, immediately trying to take more control over the e4 square by the pieces and not by the pawns. So his great development of the Nimzo-Indian or Nimzo-Indian defense, as we call it, after knight c3 and bishop b4, just put a lot of popularity to all the systems. So when white were trying to reach their advantage already for 100 years, it was still all the attempts were quite unsuccessful. And even today the Nimzo-Indian defense is one of the main bases for black of how to play against the one and the most, I would say, direct attempt for white to get the advantage after d2, d4. However, instead of playing knight c3, almost immediately become quite popular the move knight f3. Of course, this knight f3 move, main idea, I would say, of course, came from the greatest Akiba Rubinstein, and white doesn't like to play knight c3 immediately, not allowing black to play bishop b4 and showing the key idea of the Nimzo-Indian defense, fighting for the e4 square and at the same time threatening to double white's pawn over the c file. However, knight f3 is preparing white just quite logical development. So the natural move g3 next, then bishop comes to g2, and later on, after short castling, white is ready to fight for e4 square. At the same time, in many variations, white would like to play d4, d5, taking the more space. If black is answering here d7, d5, more or less we are just transposing the game into the classical Queen's Gambit, so like d4, d5, c4, e6, and knight f3, knight f6, and of course now one of the most popular moves is knight c3, and also g2, g3, which leads to the Catalan opening line, which today one of the most popular opening variation even on the top level. However, not for playing d5, Nimzowitsch just found this moves order with knight f6 and e6, but for not moving the pawn to d5 immediately in the center part, playing b6, which